The governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, and his colleague in Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, have assured the party's presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, of overwhelming vote in the coming elections. Both governors emphasized the fact that the states have always been governed by the party and have never lost an election, a trend they promise will continue. The party's presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, however, promised that the party will continue to reward their loyalty and encourage the people to come out in their numbers and vote the PDP. Our correspondent, Larry Lasisi, has the rest of the story.
This is the reception that welcomes the Presidential Campaign Council of the People's Democratic Party to Ebonyi State. From here, it's a drive through the streets to the venue of the rally. The governor and other political leaders welcome the candidate and his team and assure them of the state's massive support.
At this point in our economic life, you need to come back and do it again. As our in-law, you are not limited in your social and personal life by your tribe or religion. So I want to assure you that by the reason of what God has started in Ebonyi State will massively vote PDP. Ebonyi State will vote for Atiku Abubakar. Ebonyi State will vote for Obi.
From the presidential candidate and his team is an appeal to the people.
Ebonyi is a go. Is a go. Atiku is a go. For Ebonyi, there is no party like PDP. And to PDP, there is no people like Ebonyi people.
From here, it's a straight dash to another rally in neighboring Enugu State.
In 1999, 2003, 2007, 2011, 2015, Enugu voted massively for PDP. In 2019, by the special grace of God and your support, PDP will win in Enugu State. So this is the time of our people. It is their prayer for us again. In infrastructure, PDP commenced the second Niger bridge. They started the take of Niger, the river Niger, and they gave us access to the international community through the Enugu International Airport. So they are starting the deal and order for us. So we are committed to PDP.
The attention of the national chairman of the party is on the conduct of the elections.
I hereby, on the authority given to me as a national chairman, call on either chairman, Professor Yakubu, to disqualify President Buhari for bringing machinery to influence our election.
The party is expected to move to Abia State for the next presidential rally. Larry Lasisi, Channels Television News.
Some company news now. As part of activities to mark its 20th anniversary, Stanbic IBTC targets the youth in the society, bringing under one roof a team of entrepreneurs to share their stories and their journey to success. The event, which took place in Lagos, featured top professionals from different careers interfacing with the youth. According to the company's CEO, Mr. Yinka Soni, the youth remain the strength of any society and must be nurtured as well as groomed on their career paths.
It's the second edition of the Youth Leadership Series organized by Stanbic IBTC. This year's edition tagged "Enabling You to Be" with the hashtag "Against All Odds" is geared towards inspiring the Nigerian youth to achieve their dreams, but through hard work. A panelist, which include award-winning film director Kemi Adetiba, co-founder and CEO Farm Crowder, Mr. Onyeka Akuma, and women's rights activist and founder of Pearls Africa Youth Foundation, Abisoye Ajayi Akinfolari, share their career experiences.
There's no limitation to who you are. There's no limit. So I don't see male, I don't see female. If for me to get from this point to that point, for you, it probably takes 10 steps because you're a man. Lucky you. If it takes me 20 steps to get there, that is my goal. My own thing was I was intentional, I had a vision. I need 20 steps to get to that goal. That is all I'm looking at. I need to get to that goal.
I wanted to be the best that was available to do the job that it could ever find. So my 9 to 5, I was always outstanding. Then from 5 o'clock to 10, I am busy creating websites. And I was doing this consistently for many years.
For the Chief Executive Officer of Stanbic IBTC, Mr. Yinka Sani, targeting the youth is in the company's value proposition bid.
If we are going to be successful, we know and we are convinced that we have to embrace the youth. So what we've done today, it was the second in its series, is to inspire young Nigerians so that they can take responsibility and achieve their dreams. But as far as it is within our powers, Stanbic IBTC, by the grace of God, we intend to continue to support young Nigerians to move forward and achieve their dreams.
Stanbic IBTC says its plans are to go beyond the talks by following up on participants' progress after the event as they broaden their horizon in their chosen fields of endeavors.
The federal government says it will introduce new taxes to increase revenue generation in the country. And this was mentioned at an economic outlook session organized by Deloitte in Lagos. The third economic dialogue also featured panel discussions bordering on Nigeria's competitiveness in the global market, inclusive growth at the sub-national levels.
Foreign direct investment.
Deloitte in Dialogue is a series of the financial service company organized to examine Nigeria's economic outlook annually with a view to contribute to nation building.
Motivated by our purpose of making impact that matters. So we see this as a responsibility to assist in shaping policy, providing a platform for government and business community to discuss the future of our country.
This third edition drills down into the federal government economic agenda, as well as the 2019 budget implementation plans and other related matters.
We have to do a lot more in terms of expanding our tax net, in terms of tax collection as well as tax enforcement. And of course, we will also have to introduce new taxes.
The spending focus of the 2019 budget is as reflected in the ERGP. The ERGP is the one, is the blueprint that the government is using. Everything that we do is based on the economic recovery and growth plan.
There were two panel discussions which centered on Nigeria's competitiveness and the inclusive growth agenda of government at the subnational levels.
Nigeria is one of 11 countries that has a specific country survey gone into detail by the World Bank. And in that survey, at least about 32 states moved right. The cardinal stripe was way right. If Nigeria was cardinal, we would be about 60th position in the world right now.
You have those that are working, who are directly benefiting from their salaries, and you have those that are not part of that economic growth system. They're outside, they're poor, they're unemployed. The objective is for government to tax growth as increasing, and then use that additional income, additional taxes to provide social investment programs and so on.
It's clear that the fiscal authorities here recognize the challenges that confront Africa's largest economy in 2019. These strategic management plans will be expected to shape the anticipated level of support from the private sector.
Private sector has appealed to the federal government to create a more business-friendly environment and will be giving us the details on Business News.
Yes, indeed, Melinda. And that is the story we'll be starting with on Business News tonight. The founder and chairman of Zenith Bank, Mr. Jim Ovia, has tasked the economic management of the federal government to improve the current triple-digit ranking of ease of doing business in Nigeria to a single digit. The renowned banker and philanthropist gave this advice while speaking at the Deloitte in Dialogue Nigeria Economic Outlook for this year 2019 program held in Lagos, Nigeria.
Some of the ministers invited by Deloitte, carefully chosen, are members of the
the economic team, Minister of Finance, Minister of National Planning. They, and together, of course, with Minister of Trade and Industries, and of course the Central Bank Governor, let's not forget the Central Bank Governor, and his team were part of the economic team that ensured ease of doing business in Nigeria significantly improved. I think we should put our hands together for that team. So good enough, the two ministers are here. They will tell us one how they did it, and let's give them a higher target, a better target for 2019. And I know some of the speakers here will be able to say, if you've done it in the past 3 years, where you jumped significantly by more than 50-something places, almost 11 basis points. Now 2019, the target should be single digit in terms of ranking. And Honorable Minister of Finance and Dole are looking at me and nodding their head. That is achievable. That is achievable. So what we expect is of doing business will be ranked in single digits, no longer double digits.
From the economy, we move to infrastructure. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is expected to partially commission the Lagos-Ibadan Standard Gauge Rail project on Wednesday, February the 6th this year. The Minister of Transport, Mr. Chibuike Amechi, confirmed this to the media during his first monthly tour of the project, which now covers the Iju area of Lagos to Abeokuta in Ogun State. News today, banking sector bellwether stocks have lifted key market indicators after 4 days of negative trading by investors. Edidiong Ewang tells us more about the performance at the Nigerian Stock Exchange today.
Thanks, Anne, and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The equities markets got off to a good start for the new month as the NSE All-Share Index recovered by 0.26% after 4 consecutive days of heavy sell-offs. Today's performance is attributed to a lone 1.95% increase by key components of the banking sector, despite significant downturn from 4 other counters. The banking sector's performance is quite evident on the list of top trades. As we can see, GT Bank shares were the most sought after, followed by FBN Holdings. In 3,144 deals, investors traded 270.93 million shares worth over 4 billion naira. It's just 2 weeks away from the general elections and uncertainties still surround the equities market. But with today's positive start, we can only hope for the bulls to return. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Edidiong Ewang. Back to you, Anne.
Thanks a lot, Edidiong. Most of the world's leading stock markets have also ended the first trading day in the month of February, mostly in the green, on a combination of stronger U.S. jobs report, renewed trade talks, and higher European earnings report. Let's see the numbers for today. And with those numbers, we end business news for tonight. I wish you a wonderful weekend. I'm Anne Nwaudu.